Oh, I didn't notice that one.
Because
over
the
there.
hanging one always trumped
It's on camera.
It's on camera.
Yeah, the other one's not on camera.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the April 20th monthly meeting of the Metropolitan School District of North Posey. And we'll open this meeting by joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first item on the agenda, bittersweet or not sweet at all. It's not one that we'd like to have on our agenda at all. We had the passing of a longtime employee, Mr. Ed Morton, janitor, custodian for 33 years at the North Posey and MSD of North Posey, passed away. And we also lost an 8th grader, Cameron Bourne, to a tragic car accident. We'd like to take a moment of silence to honor both of those. Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is patrons' concern.
We have one. Do you have? Okay, all right,
Yes, I do.
okay.
So given the fact that we are honoring the governor's ban on 10 people or more and social distancing with 6 feet, we are not allowing the public to enter the meetings, but are posting this online live, and have advertised anybody that had a question to submit those ahead of time. We did have one question from Michelle Fortune, asking when will the decision be made as to when the graduation ceremony will be held. I'll revert that to you.
Yeah, we can answer that. In the last School Reach message, I said that we would probably be giving updates on some of those type of items on May 4th. I talked to Dr. Streeter today, and we have an administrative meeting tomorrow. And he said that several different school districts were coming up with various alternative types of graduations, but he would like to have one as close to normal as possible if it's allowed. So he was wanting to push the decision to May 4th, so that we could make a decision. There's been talks of people having it and one at a time, and people come to the school and they come with their parents, and they have a photographer there, and they get their diploma one at a time on a time clock. There have been discussions about having it outside and only allowing so many people to come in, and having them sit in the stadium and with social distancing. There's been talk of no graduation at all. There's been talk, there was one school was talking about at one time doing it as a parade in a car. The only thing I can say is we're trying not to make any kind of decisions so that we can make the correct one. And hopefully the week of May 4th is when we'll be able to make that decision. It would probably be in June when we do this. There will be some type of something. I just can't guarantee you what it is yet.
Okay.
And I'm not advocating any of those things. I said that's just what some of the superintendents are talking about.
And I think that's prudent on our part to wait and see what the governor's decision is before we have to react to that accordingly. I think everybody is appreciative of the fact that graduation is a high priority. We're going to do everything possible to make best efforts to have something to honor those graduates. I know it's already a non-traditional year, so we'd like to try to keep this as least as non-traditional as we can. And that's all we had for patrons' concern. The next item on the agenda is the minutes, claim docket, and consent items that were previously submitted to everybody. for the March 9th minutes and March 9th claim docket accordingly. There is a resignation and retirement in there that I'd like to at least make a special mention to before we fully vote on that. So just point that out. Mr. Wassmer's retirement. Any comments or questions regarding the rest of the consent items? Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent items.
All right, and a second.
A second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mrs. Will, to approve the consent items, claim docket, and minutes of the previous meeting. We would like to take this time and recognize our outgoing agricultural teacher, FFA advisor, Mr. Wassmer. I think all of us in the community know of him. He's given this community 32 years of service. Our ag program is outstanding. We receive awards year in and year out. We recently, as we all are aware, had a national award winner. Greg and I were talking about this earlier, and he pointed out that we do really, really well, especially as compared to our surrounding school districts and surrounding rural communities in FFA contests and other sorts as compared to us. So whoever replaces Mr. Wassmer's got some huge shoes to fill, and he's done a tremendous job for us, and we're very, very, very thankful for that. And we'd just like to take this time to acknowledge that and show our appreciation. Anybody else have anything for the good cause of that?
No.
All right. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries 5-0. New business, Dr. Camp.
Yes, I have in front of you the submittal for the governmental 403B plan. We have Valak, who helps us monitor and do this. Back in 2003, the federal government changed and the IRS changed all the regulations to how you run your 403B plans. We had a committee together, and so we created what we created, and we've been operating under it ever since. And just every so often you have to resubmit, you have to reauthorize it. And so this is the forms that we have to do to reauthorize our 403B plan for our employees. So asking the board to approve our 403B plan document agreement.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 403B adoption agreement.
Second.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by Mr. Oakley and seconded by Mr. Stock to approve the 403B changes presented by Dr. Camp. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0.
I'm asking the board to approve the following items that I have listed because of the extreme circumstances created by the closure of school by Governor Holcomb in response to COVID-19. And the bullet points are, and I won't read every single word here, but the bullet points are pay all employees as we had a traditional school year. We will have 100, and he required 160 days. We will have 162 days. Approve our continuous learning plan. We approved that with the guidance that we were provided with the state, which has already been approved by the state. The last day for e-learning will be May 8th. Approve the meal program, which we started April 6th through May 8th. All essential employees will work to maintain the integrity of the corporation financially and our facilities. Approve the annual performance plan of all of our employees. Dr. McCormick gave us, the superintendent of instruction, gave us guidance on how to do that. And she gave us two options. And we're mainly following option 2 with employees that you have to, it's up on the screen. With the ones that we have to follow option 1, we will. We've worked that out with discussion with Dave Kaler. And so we've worked that out. And then to modify our grading, our grading policy, we have a grading policy on how we will grade students in the corporation. And I want to modify the grading policy to be the completion of 3 9-weeks of work. We're going to allow at the high school level students to turn in work for improvement of their grade only in this e-learning plan. And once the governor lifts the stay-home order, all employees still under contract will resume work on their normal summer hours. Asking the board to approve all of these things because of the extreme measure and the closure of school by Governor Hill.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the listed items as a response to the governor's closure of schools for COVID-19.
Second.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mrs. Will, to approve the items presented by Dr. Camp related to the closure of the schools by Governor Holcomb in response to the COVID virus pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0.
Under personnel, have the letter from Dr. Angie Bender to retire at the end of her contract at the end of this year. She has 28.5 years of service in education, and she came here in 2012. Yeah, been here since 2012, and want to wish her well in her retirement, and best of luck. Hope she brings me lunch. I'm still working.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept Mrs. Bender's retirement letter.
I thought the quiet was going to be my sentiment that we weren't going to accept it. So. Second.
I'll second it.
So a motion by Mrs. Wells, seconded by Mr. Schmidt to accept the retirement of Dr. Bender effective July of 2012, or excuse me, 2020. We're going to keep you on. Comments or questions? Angie, would you like to say anything?
Well, if the board would allow, I'd like to wait till June. I still have a lot more reports to do until the end of June. So, but briefly, I'd like to thank everybody for your support and for the opportunity to work at North Posey. Everything I had written in the letter, I sincerely mean. I've grown professionally and personally while my time here, and also have formed just many lifelong relationships that I will continue to cherish. And I think that we have a bright future in North Posey. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was an interesting situation that our paths crossed, and you know, it feels like you've been here part of us for a long time.
Right.
So,
it helped with my role as assistant director of special education, forming relationships way back then. So.
We greatly appreciate your services and your impact to our school, and corporation, our community. So, anybody else?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
If we vote no on this, does that mean you're
No.
Go for it.
It's worth a shot, you know? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries reluctantly. 5-0.
Thank you.
At this time, I want to let the board know that I will work one more year. I'm submitting my letter of retirement so that you have time to put the committee together and decide how you want to do the search and what you want to do for the upcoming year. But the 2021 year will be my last year. And as my letter indicated, however it helps the corporation out the most, I will retire at the end of February or at the end of June, at the end of that contract, whichever way helps the corporation the most. I've had 27 years in administration and 35 years total in school. So I've enjoyed every year here. And I can say this, and I've said this, and people have heard me say this for years. North Posey has done more for me and my family than I could ever do for it. And I think it was a godsend that I was sent out here and I came to the interview back in 2001. It's been a great place to work. And so I'm submitting my letter of retirement at your pleasure, February, or any time in there between February and the end of June, 2021.
Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the retirement letter from Dr. Camp.
You guys are jumping all over these motions for retirement. Second?
I'll second that.
So a motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mr. Stock to approve the retirement of Dr. Camp effective the end of the 2020-2021 contract. I guess I'll follow suit with Dr. Bender's request for a comment at whatever date that ends up being. We'll definitely allow that. I definitely want to state that we're very thankful that you came out and did your interview when you did. 19 years of service is North Posey is a long time. Lots happened at our school and our corporation during those times. We're very thankful for your service. 35 years is a long time in education. I think you'd have more gray hair than that.
I'm 34 right now, but the end of next year,
Maybe it's all coming. But yeah, we definitely want to say thank you for what you've done and wish you both all the good fortunes, good health, and enjoyment of your retirement. Anybody else?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion reluctantly carries 5-0.
I'd like to ask the board to approve the professional leave as listed. Obviously, with school not being in, we don't have as many things going on, but we have a few people that need to go for some training if they still hold the training, or they might do it virtually. But we will, and it says online possibly. So I'd like to approve those professional leave requests.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the professional leave request.
Second.
I'll second.
So a motion by Mr. Stock and seconded by Mr. Oakley to approve the professional leave request as presented by Dr. Camp. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries 5-0.
We've been talking about the 2020-21 school year personnel. Basically, I'm hoping that we have everything resolved as much as possible so that we can move forward with all personnel in the May board meeting. Hopefully that we can do that and then get the personnel behind us. I'll be sending you some information I'll be dropping it in our shared drive with the things that I've talked about. That'll end up in your shared drive. And Amy, is there any way that you could show, I'm getting ready, I'm gonna hold Jeff off here on good news for a second, but could you set up the slideshow that we have that We will be posting this slideshow on our webpage and at South Terrace webpage. It has music with it, but
It does?
yeah. This is before. It's after.
Looks nice.
I can hear the music from somewhere.
This technology still just blows my mind.
Big change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we already drove around the roundabout. It works well.
Looks good.
Mhm.
They're working on the seating now. Okay. So that's the final version of the South Terrace project. We will be doing the other ones later, and as we get them, we will post them on our webpage. We'll let the school post them on their webpage, and so anybody can see those. And I know we couldn't hear it now, but it has a little music in the background. It's just what it is. But with that, with the projects, we have two sets of projects going on right now. The projects we started with the bond issuance. The track now is completed. They came out and they finished it on Friday. Actually, I've actually gone out there and ran on it already, and there were a couple of people on it today walking and exercising. So the track is completely finished. The locker rooms are finished. Tomorrow we have a meeting, a project meeting, a progress meeting, and the locker rooms tomorrow. On the girls' side, we'll do the punch list on those things, so they're completed. The practice facility, if you've been by, you've noticed that they've gotten in the sewer in the facility. They've gotten the overhead joists in, rafters in, and so they're making progress there. They're saying within the next 2 weeks, the metal will be on, so it'll start looking like a building. The sewage, we finally got from the environmentalist engineers, I think that's what you call them, environmental engineers. I'm looking at you because I think you could tell me. So we finally got the specs on that back, on what that will take to fix the sewage system for the high school, junior high complex. If you recall, everything was so flat and top to the ground and not enough slope. I just kind of felt like we needed to fix as much of it as we could for the whole facility versus one building. Use the money to repair it all versus not. There'll still be a section that will need to be repaired at a later date, but we are going to inject all of our waste to the sewage plant, and so that has been spec'd out, and we're waiting on a price. Hopefully, I get that tomorrow in the progress meeting. And as you saw, the South Terrace playground is completed, and as you saw in your walk around today, North Elementary is completed. So those are the projects. So we're winding those down. They're getting pretty close to the end. I will say that when we ordered the STEM lab furniture, a couple of the chairs were damaged, not real bad, and we decided to keep them. And so we went through 2 rounds of that, and as a result of that, we replaced all of the chairs in the STEM labs, which would be about 90 chairs, and then we got more. So we ended up replacing just shy of 200 chairs throughout the corporation. The high school got 2 classrooms, the junior high got 2 classrooms, and then we had all 3 STEM labs, as well. So continue to work on that, and it's more furniture like this, more modern furniture and chairs. So that's really good. So that's one of the things that we did in the toward the end of that project, and some of the payments of those come into the summer of 2020. So the summer of 2020, we slated to do the water at junior high, domestic water. And because we've been out of school, they've been able to move right along, and they've torn out all of the domestic water pipes, and they're moving right along, and we're making great progress on that. One of the things that we've kind of talked about, I don't know if I showed you the colors. We're remodeling the high school cafeteria, and these are the floor colors. And we have 4 different colors for paint. And so bulkhead, walls, and different things here for the walls and the paint. And the furniture, to replace the furniture in there, we put out to bid. With that, South Terrace needed some new furniture similar to what we have here at North Elementary. So we've put that furniture out to bid as well. I will say that we found out, their tables are built into the wall. We were thinking we could just disconnect them and take them out. Well, there's voids back there, so we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do there. But those projects are going. They were supposed to deliver tables and let us sample them, but since we were out of school and they were not seen as essential, they cannot haul it. So as soon as they release that, they'll deliver the samples and we can look at them. The high school and junior high lighting, we did the LED lighting around the building and took out all the effervescent lighting, and we went ahead and did the painting in the gym, and so I think you'll be pleased with that. And then also Danny and the maintenance crew are going to paint the cafeteria, as I said, in this summer as well. So the gym has been painted up to the black rail. The rail that was red is now black, and the floor is, they repainted it the same color. So that will look a lot better for the year. So those are the projects that are going on and the projects that we're doing. So with that being said, I will, if anybody's got any questions, I'll answer them, but if not, I'll turn it over to Jeff for the good news.
Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, unfortunately, we have been out of school for several weeks, but we skipped the good news in March, so we'll catch it back up. We'll start with the high school. The sophomores successfully we're preparing for the ISTEP that happened March 9th through the 13th. Our academic team placed second at the PAC Academic Super Bowl, so kudos to them. Was that held at the high school? I believe, didn't we hold the conference at the high school?
Yeah.
Our fine arts team, which is coached by Mrs. Wilson, won their discipline at the conference academic meet. And Camden Bender was named a Scholar Athlete of the Week. In athletics, we had Nate Willman won his semi-state match in wrestling, and also continued that success and placed 4th at the state finals. Josiah Ricketts became the opposing county's all-time leading scorer in basketball, and he scored his 2,000th point in the last game against Gibson Southern of the regular season. Also, Camden Bender became the school's all-time steals and assists leader in basketball. On the girls' side, Haley Wilson was named All-PAC, and North Posey defeated Mater Dei for the first time in school history in the sectional. To open that up, we won't go into what happened after that. And Haley Exline committed to play golf at Oakland City University, so kudos to Haley. We'll also give her a shout out. She competed in the state golf match. We were not fortunate enough to have her here to recognize that miss on our part, and COVID struck, so we weren't able to rectify that, but we definitely want to give a shout out to Haley. Cody Mall was named the Coach 1A Coach of the Year in wrestling. We want to give a thank you note to the boosters for the truck raffle. That raises lots of money for us for the athletic club. The SAD club, sponsored Zillion Brothers, had a successful say yes to the dress prom event. We want to thank Posey County News, David Conley Pierce, for sponsoring our 2020 Athletic Hall of Fame induction banquet. The inductees were Jared Bale, Kevin Sergisgetter, Laura Connery, Bowler, and Tim Mock, and the members of the 71 through 76 cross-country teams for North Posey. And Mr. John Wood was named the Bob Buckley Service Award winner. In the junior high, we had, catch up here. We had Kate Bender was a student of the month. We had a robotics team placed second in their robotics competition. That was, I don't have their last names here, but Brett, Braylon, and Rowan. I know one is Brett Roble. I don't know the other two. Olivia Woods and Annalise Mays, National Junior Honor Society. They were collecting donations to help teachers and students replenish depleted supplies that went through, as you all remember, we had to shut down for sicknesses. Today for Life, thank you go out to the members of the team for the Farm Bureau Co-op dinner. The junior high band members participated in their solo and ensemble festivals. Shawnee Lamar received a silver rating. Braylon Gaines, Christina Meredith, Jacob Pugh, and Dalton Berry received a gold rating for their solos. They want to give a thank you to national counselors, Mrs. Reynolds for 18 years at North Posey, and Mrs. Taylor, who is also serving under the supervision of Mrs. Reynolds. This year she completes her degree in her studies. We all know about the Girls' Night, which was sponsored by the Women Empowering Women Club. It was a big event. Then North Elementary. We had all students show growth on their iReady and recognized in their daily announcements. Third grade teachers are issuing multiplication licenses to teach to students as they pass their facts. The fourth grade tackled the water cycle this month in the STEM lab. Mrs. Bell, engineer from NICS, and an engineer from NICS visited and discussed being an engineer after reading Rosie Revere, engineer. Mr. Wilson taught coding and innovative with Spiros. Second, third, and fourth grade teachers attended Project Lead the Way training from lead teachers Christina Griffin and Heather Brandel. Lisa Scheller has announced her retirement. Thank yous go out to the North Elementary PTO for soup, lunch, and sweets, the Flu Fighters for collecting and donating material, family and friends that participated in the bunny sale, and Mrs. Heather from the public library for reading to the students. And we have South Terraces that I found as well this time. We had South Terrace held a pep assembly to recognize accomplishments in winter athletic teams cheer. Sixth graders designed, competed in the Egg Drop Challenge. Third graders STEM Challenge with the one and only Ivan novel. They received and installed new STEM lab furniture, received and introduced Sparrows into Mr. Wilson's Innovate curriculum. The school celebrated North Posey High School Homecoming Week with corresponding Spirit Days. Mrs. McGinnis and Mrs. Thomas coordinated efforts with USI's mobile STEM lab equipment to use with the sixth graders. Thank yous go out to the high school student Macy Long, organized Women Empowering Women event for the girls in grades 5 through 6. PTO for delivering room service to the staff at brunch. Barton Automotive and Q Family for room service donations. And the junior high Blue Fighters again for their donations collected and delivered to the school staff. And that is it for the good news. Can anybody print those out and email them? Because I know the paper was wanting a copy of those. I can't print forward. It should be. So somebody can help out.
I can check.
Okay,
I think they've given me rights to be able to do that. I'm not for sure.
okay. And we'll get those to the paper if we can. All right. Anything else for the good cause?
Well, we answered what I was going to answer for school year items, and then the fuel report was in there for you. And Dr. Bender, do you have anything? I think that's it.
Anybody else for the good cause?
I will say that the next meeting is supposed to be at South Terrace.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
So a motion by Mrs. Wells, seconded by Mr. Schmidt. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Maybe I'm gonna leave this patient concern here by the vote.